screen, so that's fantastic. Welcome to the Mobile Home Ownership Taxation Task Force. What I want to go through fairly quickly is the agenda. We'll do some introductions. We'll do kind of the guideline. So, Carla, you're not hearing me. Is anybody else not hearing me? Okay, good, perfect. And then we'll get into that executive session, which won't take but a few minutes, I hope. And then we'll get back into this meeting. So just the way that's going to work is we're going to start in this meeting. This is the public meeting. It's been publicly noticed. I think we have one member of the public that is here. So we will, when we make the motion to move to executive session, we will move over to that executive session link, and then we will do the executive session there, and then we will move back to this meeting. So this is the only time that we'll have to do that unless there's some other reason that the task force decides to go to an executive session. I'm familiar with executive session law, and I'll try to make sure that if we do have a need for that, that we run it by the attorney, make sure everything's okay, and then we'll bounce to an executive session in the future. But with my other task force and committees, we've not had to do that. So introductions, I just want to give everybody a minute to introduce themselves. We'll let the task force members introduce themselves. I am actually going to stop share for just a second so I can see everybody's face. All right, and so Bridget, do you want to go first?
Yes, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I am Bridget Grimm. I am the Weld County Treasurer and Public Trustee.
Welcome. Dan Hunt.
Hi, I'm Dan Hunt. I live in the Animas View Mobile Home Park in Durango, and I'm here as that kind of representation. So thank you.
Great. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for volunteering to everybody on the panel. Tammy?
Hi, I'm Tammy Barnes. I think they had me listed as a county clerk. I'm actually deputy county clerk. And I do oversee the motor vehicle department for the most part. Moved up to deputy clerk about a year ago, I guess. And I was on the mobile home working group that we had prior to this.
Great, thank you. Senator Jaquez Lewis.
Hi, everyone. Senator Sonia Jaquez Lewis. I represent Senate District 17. That's Longmont, Lafayette, and Erie. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Andy, do you want to go next?
Sure. I'm Andy Glinsky. I'm with Stonetown Capital. We own and operate a few different mobile home communities in the state of Colorado. So happy to be here.
Thank you. Michael Pierce.
Hi, I'm Michael Pierce. I'm with the Colorado Coalition of Manufactured Homeowners, also president of the San Souci Cooperative, and a former professor at CU.
Welcome. Thank you for serving. Monica?
Hi, I'm Monica Jones. I am the county assessor for Park County, and I am also the president of the Colorado Assessors Association.
Welcome. Ben Whittier?
Hello, I am Ben Whittier. I'm the Vehicle Services Director with Division of Motor Vehicles, Department of Revenue.
Okay. Jack?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Jack Reagan-Bogan. I'm the Deputy Director at the Colorado Poverty Law Project, and we have a program that's focused on serving mobile home residents, our mobile home owners, and mobile home park residents. Really excited for this opportunity to work with you all.
Lisa Mills?
Hi, everyone. Lisa Mills. I am the Senior Credit Operations Officer for A&B Bank, and we do a fair amount of mobile home lending. Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. Welcome. Tawny, I saw you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tawny Payton. I'm the Executive Director for the Rocky Mountain Home Association. We represent the manufactured and modular home industry in Colorado.
Welcome. Representative Martinez.
I'm Representative Matthew Martinez. I represent the San Luis Valley, Huerfano, and Pueblo.
Commissioner Sarah Mudge.
Good afternoon. I will turn on my video in just a few minutes here once I stop moving in the car, but I am Lake County Commissioner and happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think that was all the members of the task force. Did I catch everybody or did I leave anybody off? All right, other members we have here, let's jump to staff real quick. I'm Sam Albrecht. I am also a member of the task force appointed by the Division of Housing in DOLA. And so I am also the lead staff person on this. So I get dual roles. My background is I've been with Division of Housing. I have two programs. I oversee the Mobile Home Park Oversight Program and also the Building Codes and Standards Program in the Division of Housing, and that's called the Office of Regulatory Oversight. Terrible title, but I wear it proudly, and that's what I tell people. My background is I was also a county manager for 5 years at Elbert County. If you're not familiar with Elbert County, it's got about 26,000 people, 36,000 cows, just a little bit south and east of Denver. And then I'll turn it over to Michelle.
Hi, my name is Michelle Gouroulet, and I am here in a project management capacity, but I work for with Sam in the Office of Regulatory Oversight, Division of Housing for the Mobile Home Park Oversight Program.
Michelle is also a communications and communications specialist with the Division of Housing. She's going to help us on outreach in addition to project management. And then Carla.
Hi, it's Carla Grossnickel. I know you were like not sure how to say it.
Yeah, well, that's why I just went with Carla.
But I'm actually a realtor here in Colorado that specializes in selling manufactured homes, as well as I own a settlement/title company only for chattel manufactured homes and land lease communities.
All right, and so you're just a member of the public attending the meeting, is that correct? Okay, great.
Yes.
And these are public meetings and we welcome all input. And I skipped over my other team member on this, Robert Dodd.
Hi, good afternoon. Yes, I'm Robert Dodd. I'm employed by the Department of Law, Attorney General's office. I've been in the office 25, 26 years and represented a different division of DOLA for a good number of those. And today I'm standing in for our team member, Harlan Norby, who had to be out, but has provided me with a wonderful PowerPoint that I'm here to torture you with. And
it's not torture. We all love the PowerPoints.
Exactly.
That's part of our day. Well, thank you, Robert. With that, I'm going to go back to slide share. So this is a couple things that we want to do is go to this executive session. There is a certain amount of information that we all should be aware of when it comes to respect with the open meetings law and the Open Records Act, Colorado Open Records Act, often called CORA. So if somebody would, if you guys can see this slide, make a motion to move to executive session. If we get enough votes for it, we will go to the other Zoom meeting link that I sent out to everybody.
I don't see a slide.
I'm sorry?
There's no slide.
I don't see a slide.
There's no slide. That's because I didn't select screen one. How about that?
Better.
Thank you.
So I move pursuant to section 24-6 4023A 2 of the Colorado Revised Statute to adjourn the public portion of this meeting and to reconvene in executive session with our attorney and Division of Housing staff for the purpose of receiving legal advice related to the Colorado Open Meetings Law and Colorado Open Records Act.
Thank you. Let me do a roll call real quick. Representative Martinez.
Second.
Thank you for the second.
Yes.
Senator Jaquez Lewis,
Yes.
Bridget Grimm,
Yes.
Monica Jones,
Yes.
Tammy Barnes,
Yes.
Andy Galinsky,
Yes.
Michael Pierce,
Yes.
Dan Hunt,
Yes.
Connie Payton,
Yes.
Jack Regenbogen,
Yes.
Benjamin Whittier,
Yes.
Lisa Mills,
Yes.
Commissioner Mudge,
Yes.
and I vote yes. All right, so now we are going to move to that other meeting, okay? So, and I'm going to now share my screen again, and we'll work through the rest of these slides. All right, can everybody see that okay?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. All right, so this is the task. I hope everybody's familiar with Senate Bill 24-183, the Mobile Home Taxation Task Force legislation that was signed. There are, just to kind of give a brief background of the major tasks in this, is to really kind of come up with, there was a U.S. Supreme Court decision in Tyler versus Hennepin County regarding the distressed sale of mobile homes, and that had nationwide impact. And I think there are some 15, 16 states that looked at their legislation and said, yeah, we need to modify it as a result of this U.S. Supreme Court decision, and Colorado is one of those. And so that is that first task, to examine and recommend legislation to modify statute to, with respect to a distressed sale of a mobile home to collect delinquent property taxes in order to comply with that federal law and to protect a property owner's constitutional right to the excess value of the home if it's sold. So it's a Fifth Amendment. It has Fifth Amendment rootings in the decision from the U.S. Supreme Court. And then, so that's the biggest thing that we have to get done. The other pieces of that is to take a look at, study and review other state statutes and rules with respect to assessment, titling, and taxation. Some states may have already solved that problem, but their base statutes, the problem with the U.S. Supreme Court decision, right, alliance with that. But every state statute is different. So just depending on what the other states doesn't work, if we don't look at it from our own state statute perspective. Also to gather input from shareholder groups and to develop a statement of work for a system for titling and registering mobile homes and tiny homes. That was a late addition to the bill as it was moving through. There has been a mobile home title working group, which I've been a part of also, that has been working for a couple years to see if there can't be a better way to create a computer program that is more user-friendly to the major shareholder groups that are working with mobile home titles. And so that got added on there, and that ties to that statement of work section. And that's an OIT task to develop that statement of work. There's $100,000 being in the bill in order to help pay for that development for a statement of work. And then that will, once we have that, we'll know things like what the total cost of the system could be, what's the FTE required to run it. And so it's just a stepping stone in what we see as a series of potential legislation down the road to help those shareholders that deal with mobile home titling. Here's the kicker. Our report is due to the Legislative Oversight Committee concerning tax policy on the 1st of October. We don't have a lot of time. So what we've been doing meanwhile, from my project management team, is to try to really get ahead of this as much as we can. But I want to stop and see, one of the other things that we have to do is to select a chair. Now, it doesn't say when we have to select a chair, but are there any volunteers for being the chair of this group? And I know Representative Martinez left, but let's not pick on him. Any other volunteers that are here? I'd like it to be a true volunteer. If you want to think about it, we can select the chair at the next meeting. Any thoughts?
I have a thought. Is there a problem with nominating you as the chair?
I would feel uncomfortable being the staff liaison from Division of Housing and making me the chair of this group. So I would respectfully decline that. Technically and legally, I probably could be, but at the end of the day, I'm the staff person that's going to be bugging people to get this report done by the 1st of October. I'd rather have a chair that is willing to lead.
Speak to what a good chair, what qualities or knowledge a good chair would look like?
That's a really good question. I think it is somebody that deals. It could be a couple things. Since we are the primary purpose is to propose future legislative changes if needed. It could be somebody that is familiar with that legislative process. On the other hand, what you mentioned to me is as equally important, and that is somebody that deals in the mobile home title space and deals with tax sales and distraint sales of mobile homes. To me, that is equally, if not more important. Bridget, are you interested in serving as chair?
I don't know. I am familiar, as the treasurer, I am familiar with the tax sale process of mobile homes, but I will add that I've worked in Adams County, Larimer County, and Weld County, and we no longer take the mobile homes to tax sale for a number of reasons. But so, I mean, that's something to keep in mind. But no, I'm not volunteering, but I'm, just wanting to.
Well, I think that's
Chair.
important. I've heard that from other counties too, that they're no longer taking their mobile homes forward through tax sales just because of the complications. So here's an opportunity to help to set that. And if you know how that works, I think that's extremely valuable. And I know you're not volunteering, but is there anybody else that might be interested? Otherwise, I think are you willing to serve as chair, Bridget?
I'm going to need a lot of help, but yes, I'm happy to do that. Unless there's like a co-chair or a vice chair, because I do feel like
Well, then you'll also
I
have
would
me.
need some help.
Yep, you'll also have me and the legal team and You also have, we've got some other, what I'm going to call advisors to the group that also deal in that space. So you're going to have a lot of help, and I promise, I can't promise, but I really think you can do it. And I think, and if is there anybody that wants to be the vice chair of this group? And then we can, it doesn't say we can't have a vice chair.
Sam, I'd be willing to vice chair with Bridget.
Tammy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
And then Bridget, are you now willing to serve since you've got a vice chair?
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much. All in favor of Bridget as chair, please raise your hand or say aye.
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 All right. Any opposed? Thank you. Anybody, all in favor of Tammy as vice chair or co-chair? Vice chair, I think is what we're going to call it. Anybody who is all in favor of Tammy as vice chair, please signify by raising your hand or saying aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Yippee. Okay. Thank you so much, folks.
Thank you both for volunteering.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so here's what we have done, and realizing we've only got 7 minutes left. I mentioned that we've been doing a lot of work in the background, and that's been Robert and Harlan, the other attorney, and Michelle and myself, and we've actually had, I think we're ready to go. And I will send this slide deck out to everybody because it has these updates. The legislation was weird because it had a required meeting, first meeting before 6:15, which was before the appointments were made. So we rushed and we took 3 or 4 appointments that we had, and we had a meeting on 6/6, and we just kind of introduced ourselves and went through the tasks similar to what I mentioned today. So that first meeting has already happened. We built a website for this. I think Michelle was going to put that link in the chat, and it'll certainly be, this is a hot link in the slide deck when it goes out. That Taxation Task Force website has some information on there and background and resources and the task force members. One of the, which ties to the next piece of that, and that is that Google Form survey. We've prepared a Google Form survey to send out to all the shareholder groups. That's all the groups that are represented here, and ask them to seek input on all those things that are in the bill. And then Michelle and I will compile those comments back with respect to assessment, titling, sales of mobile homes. And so we're getting ready to send that out. Once that survey is finalized, I'm thinking either later today or tomorrow. Michelle, you said you were getting ready to leave though, right?
Yeah, so it's gonna have to be today or tomorrow. Otherwise, it'll be on the 4th or 5th.
All right, so today or tomorrow, we're going to finalize that Google form. Sorry, Michelle. And we'll get it out to everybody to review. And then we'll get that sent out to all the shareholder groups. We've had several meetings with OIT to kick off that scope of work piece of this. And again, remember I said that there's been a mobile home titling working group for 2 years. We've been working on it for a couple years. So like I said, it was a late addition to the Senate bill, and it's similar. So it found a home in this bill. And I will tell everybody that OIT cannot give us that final report until November, the end of November. So we will put in our October 1st report to the Legislative Committee the status that we have to date on that state of work, scope of work. So that may be, that's my only hiccup with meeting that 10/1 required date in the legislation to get a final report done. It'll be mostly final. And I'll take the hit for that, but OIT can't provide anything by the final statement of work. We're going to push them, but they're not promising anything. We've also already prepared a draft outline for that, what that final report looks like. So we can start filling in that document. And then, as I mentioned earlier, several meetings with the AG office staff to discuss legislation and that Supreme Court case. There is a resource page where, and Robert, I don't know if you want to touch base on this. There is a link on the website that we created with an AG opinion letter on Tyler versus Hennepin County that kind of sets the stage for this, right? And so there has been work at the Attorney General's office already. What I've asked Robert and Harlan to do is to dive into the statutes that are mentioned, that mention distressed sale of mobile homes, take that opinion letter, which they were aware of and brought to our attention, and start thinking about what we might want to consider as changes, or to consider at least areas of statute that need to be changed in order to move forward. Robert, did I capture that right?
Thank you. Yes, that's exactly right. Since Tyler came out, there was considerable study over here as to what it might mean, and then that resulted in the in that opinion of the Attorney General. And now, as we this is the the practical aspect of how do we apply that to Colorado. So it's not real long. Please feel free to read that. It's public, and you probably already know, or about Tyler and a lot of the background, but maybe it's some use, and so that's where we're starting from.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Okay.
Is the objective to, so, that Tyler Hennepin House Bill 1056, I think it is, we're in the treasurer's office already changing the way that we are now auctioning these properties off versus transferring deed based on delinquent tax. Is the objective of this committee, or is it a piece of it, that we have a similar solution for mobile homes? Or is I guess I'm a little stuck on, are we trying to do something like that? Or are we just trying to change the entire way we handle mobile homes moving forward in terms of
I think the risk
everything?
to the state of Colorado, it's a really good question. The risk to the state of Colorado is if a mobile home sells or is auctioned off in a tax sale, right? And the money collected is worth more than the taxes due. The difference should go back, based on Fifth Amendment, to the mobile homeowner.
Yeah, that's right. So that would be, so the objective is to get to that model where we're actually auctioning the property for fair market value versus just delinquent tax?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And so I guess that's a question that we need to clarify with all the treasurers is, do they, and you're the right person to maybe answer this. Do you just sell it for the taxes due, or do you sell it for the entire fair market value? Or whatever the auction price is?
You mean currently?
Yeah, currently.
Yeah, currently. Well, I think the majority of the large counties, the counties with a large mobile home manufactured population, are not even selling, or not even auction. They're not even allowed. So what happens is they go to tax lien sale, and the investor in 1 year versus 3 years, which is the case for what they call real property,
right,
mobile homes now can transfer deed with an application for the investor who paid the 1 year delinquent tax that currently they can take the they can apply for that deed and get it just for delinquent tax. So we currently do not sell the actual mobile home in an auction setting for fair market value. Now we are now doing that for what we call real property homes and commercial. So we are now effective July 1st, now moving to that other model based on House Bill 1056 to now auction the property in a similar fashion to what a foreclosure looks like. So highest bidder, and then after everybody's been paid for delinquent taxes and all the costs associated with having that auction, the what we'll call overbid funds now go to the homeowner. So that's the great news about how we're doing that based on House Bill 1056. But that is not what, if I understand it correctly, I don't think anybody's doing that for mobile homes.
Okay.
But I actually don't think counties are currently even offering up mobile homes in a tax lien sale, just to avoid having to see these homes get lost in 12 months based on 1 year of taxes. Hope that helps.
So that's a good point, and maybe, Robert, we need to have a side discussion. So if I understand right, you're transferring title to an investor, and they've got 12 months. The owner has 12 months to pay the taxes and keep the title.
So yeah, if a mobile home owner is delinquent on their taxes and it goes to tax sale, the investor can apply for ownership of the mobile home in 12 months. The mobile homeowner has 12 months to redeem the investor, pay the taxes plus all the delinquent interest and fees associated with that. But that's how it works now.
Yep.
So they can lose their home in a year.
That's an interesting scenario I hadn't thought about and I didn't understand, and that is that scenario. So it's not sold for fair market value, so there's no excess value that we're not returning. But we'll have to dig into that Supreme Court decision to say, well, it's still an illegal taking of property based on the Fifth Amendment.
And that's why I wanted to make sure I understood the objective of this committee is to make it so that mobile homes have a similar auctioning the property to the highest bidder versus just for delinquent taxes. I just want to have that clarity because I wasn't quite sure if we were trying to change the entire way mobile homes are handled, or if we were just trying to make sure we were aligning with the new Tyler versus Hennepin Supreme Court case.
I think at the minimum, we have to align with Tyler versus Hennepin. If we can make this system better, because remember, after all of our work today, or up till October 1st, there will be another set of legislation that is introduced to change statute. So that's what we're trying to get to. We're not trying to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's exactly what I needed to know. Yeah.
Michael, you got your hand up?
Sure, thank you. I'm trying to figure out what more would be done if we're talking about totally redoing the way mobile homes are taxed. And so I would love just to know more about that. A few things that come to my mind are the 1 year versus a 3 year period by which a homeowner can pay back taxes and fees and so on. But that's something I'm aware of, but I'm very curious as to what else might be swept up in this larger reform.
Michael, I think that your point is well taken, because even I don't understand it in detail. Is maybe we'll have a couple guest speakers at the next meeting to kind of lay out how it currently works. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that works.
Jack, you got your hand up?
Just in response to Bridget's question and Mike's comment, I just want to be transparent that on behalf of Colorado Poverty Law Project and the mobile homeowners who we serve, we are hoping that from this group, there might be reforms that would bring greater parity between the redemption processes that are afforded to real property owners and mobile homeowners. One that was just mentioned is the 3-year versus 1-year redemption period. There's also I believe it's 9 years for real property owners who have a legal disability, but it's no difference for mobile homeowners. And then I think there's a couple other disparities too. So just given the broad charge and scope of this group, I am hoping that we might have some discussion around reforms that, strictly speaking, go beyond what's necessary to comply with Hennepin County, but that I think are beneficial to the state at large.
I think that's a really good point, Jack. And the Senate bill language gives us the opportunity to make recommendations. If you have a working list that you'd like for us to consider and address, then maybe you can present that to the group too. Tawny, I see you've got your hand up.
Yes, thank you. And I want to echo some of this, or all of it. Just, this is a really great opportunity for us to just make a lot of helpful changes. Also, I don't remember what the figure is, but some personal property / mobile homes are already tax exempt. Like they are exempt in law if they are valued under a certain amount. So it would be helpful to do some research on that. I want to say that was in 2019 that bill passed, and then something else was passed in 2020. But there are some homes that if they're assessed at a value below a certain amount, they are 100% tax exempt, just because it's more expensive to try to collect those taxes compared to the tax that they receive.
Thank you, Tawny. That's a good point too.
Yeah, I will actually have all that information ready for us for our next meeting. So what types of accounts fall under that exemption threshold and the dollar amounts.
Thank you, Bridget. So that was really a really good discussion, and I appreciate everybody bringing that forward. We're 10 minutes after the hour, and I know we're starting to lose a few people. Our next meeting is August 13th, and I think we have that already set up. So we'll make sure. And Jack, thanks for that bill 1354. And so I will email out this slide deck. I will encourage any questions that you have on what you've heard here and what you see on the website to come to me. What we don't want to do is be in violation of that open meetings law and having a lot of discussion between, or actually any discussion between members of the task force. They all need to be in public. I actually am only showing 4 more meetings before we're done. And so again, that's why in the back of my mind, and Michael Pierce asked this to me in an email too, there's a lot of work to get done in 4 meetings. And then I guess if we need to meet more frequently, we will. But if we look at that schedule that I just put up and shared on the website, we're at July 25th. August 13th is in about 3 weeks. September 5th, we ought to have pretty much everything that we need to get done. September 26th will be the review of the final report. So we're gonna have to work offline some or add more meetings. And maybe we need more meetings with not as many people, but I wanted at least one meeting a month. I've got 2 in September. It's a big task, and I appreciate you all. We'll do the best we can, okay? Any questions for me before I let everybody go?
Yeah, so what are the action items for our next meeting? What do we need to be bringing to that meeting?
We're gonna get the Google form out. I think we will do
Okay.
that. We'll get that reviewed offline. We'll start to see some comments coming back from that. I like the
Okay.
idea of really exploring the process as it works now. And having a speaker on that. I'd like to hear more about what Jack brought up as the potential changes that they might like to see. So anything and let's do it this way, anything your shareholder group has as a concern, don't hold it till the next meeting. Put it in that Google form so we can start working those issues now. Does that make sense?
Tammy, did you have your hand up?
I'm sorry?
I did. I was just going to ask kind of the same thing Bridget asked, was what was kind of our action items and things that we can work on to bring to the next meeting. So that was where I was at.
Okay. It's the tasks that are in the slide deck that I showed earlier. I'm sharing right now. So it's these things. Study and review other states if needed, obtain input from shareholder groups. Those are the things. The OIT meeting, I've got a meeting with those guys tomorrow. And then at some point, we probably need to bring their project manager onto this to kind of understand the task force, any task force concerns on that. So I think it is just to identify areas of potential changes in statute, policies, or rules that are currently enforced.
And you have a pretty good list of that already, right, Sam, of kind of the legislative direction?
Yeah.
Okay.
From the mobile home title working group. So yeah, and Pam's on my advisor list, so she'll probably she'll fine tune that for us.
Okay. I'm surprised they didn't put her on here instead of me.
Quick question about the title working group. Is there access to what you've produced as a group?
I'll have to take a look, Michael. There may be something. This is something that a local government group put together. I'll have to try to dig into it.
Thanks.
And so Sam, for clarification, if I have a question, I'm just going to reach out to you alone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Michelle.
Michelle. Okay.
It's a legal question. Throw the attorneys in there too.
Okay.
All right. Well, with that, I'm gonna thank everybody again for coming. We'll be in touch, and we'll talk to everybody soon.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.